Baiklah, Assalamualaikum dan salam sejahtera. Selamat malam saya ucapkan kepada anda semua. Selamat datang ke Liputan Pilihan Raya Umum ke-20 #MYS Memilih untuk Pilihan Raya Umum ke-20. Anda sedang menyaksikan secara langsung sebuah kolaborasi media di antara National Wire Service dan juga The Bungaraya Insight, juga 58 Hotspot dan dibantu oleh The Weekly Edition. Apa khabar semua? Kami mengharapkan agar siaran langsung kita pada malam ini berjalan dengan baik dan pastinya ramai di antara kita yang menantikan debaran, menantikan keputusan-keputusan yang sememangnya penting untuk sama-sama kita saksikan pada malam ini. Yang mana kita melihat pelbagai kejutan, pelbagai cerita yang kita saksikan pada malam ini yang pastinya suatu perkara yang cukup menarik untuk kita bincangkan pada malam ini. Jadi kami bawakan kepada anda secara langsung ini supaya anda dapat mengetahui analisis yang lebih lengkap, liputan yang lebih komprehensif dalam dua bahasa yang pastinya untuk anda ketahui segalanya, terutamanya bagi yang anda buat pertama kalinya mengundi dalam pilihan raya ini. Pastinya ada banyak perkara, banyak cerita yang mungkin anda perlu ketahui. Siapakah yang anda undi untuk pilihan raya umum yang ke-20 ini. Baiklah, pada malam ini kita tidak keseorangan pada malam ini kerana kita bersama dengan rakan-rakan daripada media. Kita bersama juga dengan rakan-rakan daripada ahli politik untuk kita berbincang mengenai apa yang mereka rasai mengenai keputusan pilihan raya kita pada malam ini. Tapi sebelum kita teruskan dengan lebih jauh, alangkah lebih baiknya kalau kita mungkin hendak recap semula untuk kita imbas semula bagi yang baru saja bersama kami, untuk kita lihat semula keputusan-keputusan ataupun kerusi-kerusi yang dipegang sebelum ini pada pilihan raya umum ke-19. Jadi kita akan bawakan kepada anda inilah dia keputusan bagi PRU ke-19, di mana pada ketika ini PDM berjaya membentuk kerajaan sebanyak 18 kerusi, manakala Barisan Rakyat Malaysia BRM berjaya membentuk ataupun menjadi koalisi pembangkang dengan 12 kerusi. Ini adalah peta secara keseluruhannya yang anda boleh nampak, di mana di semenanjung Malaysia banyak dipegang oleh Barisan Rakyat Malaysia, namun tidak kita kecualikan beberapa kawasan di menanjung Malaysia dipegang oleh Parti Demokratik Malaysia, diikuti juga di bahagian Borneo yang menjadi kubu kuat bagi Parti Demokratik Malaysia, dan ada sebahagian yang dipegang oleh Barisan Rakyat Malaysia. Jadi untuk pilihan raya umum ke-20 ini, kita menyaksikan Parti Demokratik Malaysia memegang ataupun bertanding sebanyak 30 kerusi. Begitu juga dengan Barisan Rakyat Malaysia. Dan kita melihat juga ada penjuru yang ketiga, iaitu Perikatan Anak Malaysia, yang bertanding dengan 13 kerusi untuk PRU ke-20 ini. Pastinya satu percaturan politik yang menarik yang kita saksikan untuk ketiga-tiga penjuru pada PRU yang ke-20 ini. Pastinya satu perkara yang cukup menarik, dan ini dia kerusi Dewan Rakyat yang akan sama-sama kita nantikan sehingga ke akhirnya pada malam ini untuk kita ketahui adakah keputusan pada malam ini akan memihak kepada mana-mana parti politik. Jadi kerusi-kerusi inilah yang akan dipertaruhkan, dan soalan besarnya pada malam ini, siapakah yang akan memimpin Malaysia? Adakah dari PDM, adakah dari BRM, ataupun dari Perikatan Anak Melayu ataupun Malaysia? Baiklah, jadi pada malam ni saya tidak keseorangan kerana saya bersama dengan rakan setugas saya yang akan sama-sama kita bawakan analisis yang lebih lengkap dan untuk dijadikan sebagai exposure kepada mereka yang baru saja ingin mengenali politik di Malaysia ni. Saya bersama dengan Mr. Sherman daripada The Weekly Edition. Apa khabar Sherman?
Well, it's been a great night here, and thank you for having me here. And salam sejahtera to all our audience. And I'm Sherman, if you don't know me, and welcome to the National Wire Services 20th General Elections coverage. And like Mir said earlier, the question tonight is whether PDM will continue their government term or will BRM hold up the reign, or as the media terms it, the third option, PAM, Perikatan Anak Malaysia, hold up to become the leading opposition, or the question in everyone's mind, a hung parliament. But of course, that's the worst case scenario we are expecting tonight. And I'm not here alone tonight. I'm here with Mia, and I will be with several party candidates tonight. And as you can see in the studio, let me just walk up to them. I'm also with PM candidate from Parti Demokratik Malaysia, Mr. Vertical. Hello, Mr. Vertical. I'm also with Mr. Alright, I'm also with Mr. Dark Knight here, the BRM PM candidate, and I'm also with Mr. William from Perikatan Anak Malaysia. Hello everyone, thank you for coming to the show. How is the mood tonight, everyone?
There's a lot of suspense, I think. Yeah.
Well, as expected. How about you, Mr. Dark Knight? What is the tense mood tonight in your coalition headquarters?
Quite surprising, the coalition, when the voting number is become another high peak in the history of Malaysia.
Alright, I see. I mean, that's all of our thoughts tonight, isn't it? Just a bit of a suspense and tense. Just a very while to keep us on the edge of our seats awaiting for the results. Well, Mr. William, how about your party's mood tonight? Or the third coalition, actually.
Well, it's quite good. We have some discussion with my my council of my party. Just that. Anyway, I think this night will be gonna be amazing about for us, because there's many rumors at many community. Hung parliament, BRM will be the government, PDM lost and everything about that. This I think this is a most huge year for the democracy for this MYS community. Just that.
Certainly, Mr. William. And we're not just talking with our politicians tonight. We are actually giving you a comprehensive analysis on our general elections. We'll be bringing you the latest information on the general elections, giving you the latest results with the quickest speed we can. And just right here, we have Mr. Clash, our longtime political analyst and our data analyst. He should be sharing you our data from SPR. Mr. Clash, can you just explain to me what this is behind you?
Alright, hello everybody. Selamat malam to all Malaysians today, tonight, please. So right here we have our old-time hologram. As you can see, we are currently in the old studio where Berita used to stream their 14th general election, and now we're gonna be reusing this studio to bring you the latest election. Talk about bringing retro back. Right. So this model here is representing the 30 seats that the parliament has, and up there we have the numbers for PAM, PDM, and BRM. And if you can see here, at least you can see here, these circles can change colors. Look at that. These circles can change colors, and they're going to be representing the number of seats that parties will receive throughout the night. And not just that, I will also be bringing the analysis alongside Mir and Sherman. We're gonna be bringing you the latest updates. We're gonna be bringing you all you need for tonight's election. And not just that, we're gonna be also introducing our new innovation, as always, the swingometer. I'm gonna be explaining that more later, but for now, let's head over to Sherman.
Well, with an exciting night in front of us, we'll be bringing you all the new comprehensive tools and graphics to explain it as best as we could to you. And like Cash said earlier, the swingometer and the hologram that we are using from Berita But let's us take a look at the current situation at SMK MYS, where the polling just closed nearly 10 minutes ago. We have seen a fluctuate of voters coming out, and we are currently seeing SPR officials on that stand. As you can see, the map is behind them, where they used to announce at KLCC, but today is a special case because we are hearing from SPR that tonight we have broken the record of highest voter turnout in Malaysian electorate history. Now that's a record that has not been broken before. And due to this high influx of voters coming in from MYS verse, we are expecting also a very different result tonight because, well, this has not been experienced by all of us here. We have not seen this, and it's a shock to most politicians. Isn't that right, Mr. Vertigo?
Yes, it is. It is a shock to a lot of politicians. It's how do I say? It's very good to have a lot of people attending the elections, and I think that's what democracy is all about. To have a lot of people participate in the elections and express their views.
I see. So about this high influx of voters and it affecting the results entirely, what do you think about that?
Sorry, say again.
So like I said earlier, there's a lot of voters tonight. So the voter turnout actually was broken. The record was broken. We are seeing about 500 plus or even more voters this day. So analysts have been saying that due to this event, actually, it is going to significantly affect the electorate. It's going to affect how the map looks like Mia showed earlier, the blue color map we had for 2 elections. So about that phenomenon, what do you think about it?
I think it's interesting for me because before these elections, we had the same old results. We had the same amount of votes, and now suddenly we have this big influx of voters coming in to vote. And I think it's going to be very interesting to see how this will affect the election results.
All right. And Mr. Dark Knight, what do you think? What is the feeling about this from your party?
For our party, we quite agree on what Vertical just now say. It brings some mark point to the MYS that is actually educating the younger generation on in their future how they're gonna to vote for their leader that represent them inside of the hall. So in the future, when the moment they going through the reality, they can use what they have learned from this and they can go through the hall. And at the same time, I think this will be quite a good marking point for the younger generation too, as long as they actually going to learn something what is called politics.
All right, thank you, Mr. Dark. And there are speculations that the result might change and it may change in your party's favor. Are you confident?
Yeah, we are confident that we might be maintaining or reducing some of the seat, but it won't be really affecting on what is we're going to presenting in the hall.
All right, thank you very much. And Mr. William, a newcomer to politics, PAM has faced a lot of critics over the past few weeks. And do you think that this huge influx of new voters are going to help your coalition in favor?
Chairman, I need to interrupt you for 1 second right here, as we have received results from Pasukan Pilihan Raya that PO1 per list is held by BRM. So right now, PO1 per list BRM. Thank you.
Alright, let's take a look now at live from SMK MYS, where the first results are just coming in. PO1 per list to BRM. That's quite surprising. First result coming in so early right now. It is the polling has already closed for about 20 minutes. Now let's go back to Mr. William here. Back to my question actually. PAM, your coalition has faced a lot of critics over the past few weeks, and Do you think that this new phenomena of new voters coming in is going to help your coalition grasp the Dewan Rakyat this term?
Well, thank you, Mr. Simon. Let me answer about this. Well, my party, PAM, Perikatan Anak Malaysia, has bring a new way to the MYS, this community. And jika kita percayalah dan kita percaya bahawa rakyat telah memilih hak dia yang benar. So that makes sense. Our democracy has been safe and secure. This is really a romantic of a democracy, which we can see the people have the choice and what they trust, what they can do, predict the future and the government. Just that, Mr. Simon, from my statement.
Benar, Mr. William, and Mr. William was just talking about the citizens getting results, and oh, hang on, I'm getting interrupted here again from SNK MYS. We are getting another results. P04 Terengganu is now in PDM's hands, so let's take a look at SNK MYS. Now, P04 has been a historical seat for PDM. They have won it for 4 times now, and it has been a consistent hold for PDM. So that is the first result as well. Second one, actually. The first result from P01 Police has also been a BRM stronghold for nearly 4 elections. So they are both holding on to their seats. So are you going to see any new gains, losses? Probably is just going to be the question of tonight's election coverage. Now let's move on to Mr. Cynically Clash as he will further explains the results coming in. Speaking of results, another one just came in, and that is PO2 Kepada, I suppose. Yes, that is PO2 Kepada, and it's now a hold by Barisan Rakyat Malaysia once again. Well, that's a new revelation right here. BRM and PDM are holding on to their stronghold seats. Alright then, let's take a look at Mr. Clash. Can you just explain to us what are the possible scenarios tonight? Because they are saying that this may be a hung parliament or anything like that.
Alright, so I just got another information that PO5 Seberang Perai has been gained by PM. We can confirm at least right now that PM has went above the 5% the 10% threshold, parliamentary threshold, in order to have a seat in parliament. So this means PM is gonna have a seat in parliament. Now let's explain the scenarios. So the current scenarios that we have is either a minority government or a hung parliament. Now what does a hung parliament mean? Let's talk about the hung parliament. So in terms of hung parliament, this means that no parties will have a majority in parliament. So this means PDM will not have 16 seats, neither will BRM and PAM, and this will open up to a lot of possibilities. And as said previously, as said many times by the public, the PAM will be the kingmaker of tonight's election, whether they will form a government with either PDM or BRM. Whoever it is, PM will form a majority in either of the parties. And I'm just getting a new information here that PO3 Kelantan has been gained by Terengganu, and turns out there has been corrections by the Pasukan Pilihan Raya that Seberang Perai is actually gained by PDM. And then
So what is the current correction made by PPR right now?
So PPR has corrected PO5 Seberang Perai. It was previously held by PA. It was previously gained by PAM. Now it has been changed to PDM, and instead Kelantan is now PAM. Kelantan PO3. So now let's explain quickly about the prospect of a minority government. So let's say PM does not want to form a government with either of the parties. This means that PDM will go at it alone, because it is probable that PDM will not form a government with BRM, but they may just form a government with PAM. Now, results as of 2:30 p.m. suggest that PDM will receive 14 seats, and BRM will receive 6 seats. Sorry, 9 seats, and then I believe 6 seats for. Hold on, I'm getting my things. Okay, sorry. So 10 seats for BRM and then 6 seats for PAM. So the current reflection of tonight of the results of 2:30 p.m. is saying that PDM will have PDM will not win the majority, and instead both 3 of the parties will have to fight. They will have to play politics. They will have to deal with each other. They're gonna be fighting for a coalition government, or maybe they won't cooperate at all.
You see, so the decision to form a coalition government entirely lies on PAM and BRM. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it completely lies on PAM, because PDM will definitely not form a majority government, a coalition government with BRM, but they will form a coalition government with PAM, because that's not off the table. And if I heard the news correctly, PM has the official answer to this, that they're willing to form a coalition government with any of the parties. So they might just form a coalition government with either BRM, or maybe they're gonna form a coalition government with PDM or BRM. It's very hard to say the acronyms. They all end in BM. And then, And then let's look. So as of now, Pasukan Pilihan Raya hasn't released further results. But for now, the current results are. Let me just change up the seats here real quick. There we go. And then we have PAM right there. So PAM 1 seat.
Oh, I'm sorry, Flash. I think the PPR just what I'm hearing from our correspondents is that they will change seats apparently, so the results earlier are not official. Can we just take a look at the SMK MYS right now? You can see that the board is changing back to white color, which means that it's still undecided. We are not sure what is the current situation at SMK MYS. We are hearing a lot of chatter inside our chat room, and as well as right now in the hall room that PPR is announcing. And to quote PPR, is that they are finding a solution to fix a supposed problem in the counting process. We are still not sure. As I said, this is a breaking news right here. Breaking news that PPR just reassigned seats, and they have not given a reason. So that's a pretty novel thing to see right there. Pretty new. Yeah. And I'd just like to ask our PM candidates here whether they have any thoughts on this. So we'll start again with Mr. Vertical. What is your reaction to this? That PPR has just changed the seats back to white color. So what is your reaction to that?
Well, I've never seen this before. It seems that they have some miscommunication. So this is pretty new to us politicians here, even the veteran ones, because we've never seen the PPR actually changing results and turning everything to white again. So it's very interesting to see.
All right, and Mr. Doug, do you have any comments to that? Have you seen this before?
For us, we never seen this kind of thing happen in the history of MYS, so it's quite shocked when the moment as PPR saying that they want to change the map into white color again.
Alright, thank you, Mr. Doug. I'm sure all of us here, including the audience, I'm sure are shocked by this. And finally, Mr. William, do you have any reaction to what is happening right now? And I'm not really sure. And Yen3321, one of the founders, just said that, quote unquote, this will be worth it. I suppose it's the wait. So, Mr. William, are you excited for what the results are going to be? Is it going to be a new result or not? I'm not sure. So, what is your reaction?
So it's really exciting, and it's really quite interesting for us, or for Mr. Sherman here, Mr. Vertical, and Mr. night. This is a really important about us, where this the first time the SPH has mengulang kembali undiannya. Ini seperti macam terkejut lah untuk kita lah, sebab kejutan untuk kita semua. Sebab apa? Sebab ini adalah pertama kali dalam komuniti MYS kita melihat bahawa SPR mengundi ulang semua kursi yang sebelumnya telah diumumkan tetapi kembali ditarik dan kembali all be white. So this is quite interesting for us, and maybe at SPR there's a miscommunication and really interesting. Just that, Mr. Simon, my statement.
All right, thank you for your reaction right there. And we'll just return back to Mr. Clash as he is explaining what the hung parliament possibility is, Mr. Clash.
Right. So ever since the morning of this election, we've seen hundreds of people coming into the polling stations, and let's just say people do have suspicion that they do make some form of allegation that there is an ongoing electoral fraud, and that's kind of a fair allegation to make, because this is the first time that the whole Malaysian community is involved into these kinds of elections. And while this is good in terms of educating the public, it is not good in terms of trying to elect a government, because we can see here we're facing the prospect of a minority government. We're also facing the prospect of a BRM-PAM government, and this is making a lot of figures nervous, including myself. And then we just saw right there that the election results, the first 5 seats, were voided, and there's going to be reallocation of seats again, and they're going to reallocate seats, and they're going to announce it back up. And this is definitely new. As a political analyst, and I'm sure, Sherman, you haven't seen anything like this. We haven't seen anything like this in terms
Definitely
of seeing a minority. Yeah, in terms of seeing a minority government, we have seen this. We have seen this 4 years ago, but announcing the result, voiding the results, and then announcing the results again. This is very new to all of us, to every Malaysian that is in this community, to all Malaysians that have come out to vote, to all Malaysians that have come out to elect a new government. And currently, I'm receiving some kind of insider information. I'm receiving some sort of insider information. Mir, can you quickly say to us about this information?
Alright, thank you Clash. So, untuk makluman yang bukan sahaja di studio kita menantikan keputusan dan juga menantikan apa yang disahkan oleh Pasukan Pilihan Raya, tetapi apa yang boleh saya maklumkan kepada anda adalah setakat ini dalam sumber yang kami dapat sahkan adalah BRM dan juga PDM sah menguasai 2 kerusi setakat ini, manakala Perikatan Anak Malaysia memegang 1 kerusi pada ketika ini. Cuma tidak pasti kawasan manakah yang dimenangi oleh ketiga-tiga parti ini, kerana kalau anda dapat lihat di skrin kita pada ketika ini masih lagi tiada warna untuk mengesahkan daripada Pasukan Pilihan Raya, yang saya kira bukan sahaja anda yang berada di rumah sedang menantikan keputusan ini, malah kami juga terpaksa meriset semula untuk kita sama-sama menantikan keputusan daripada SPR pada ketika ini. Jadi pastinya satu perkara yang menarik untuk kita saksikan, walaupun pada awalnya kita melihat Pasukan Pilihan Raya sudah pun mengumumkan 5 kerusi awal, tetapi ada cerita yang menarik yang mungkin, ataupun ada drama yang hendak ditampilkan ataupun hendak ditunjukkan oleh Pasukan Pilihan Raya pada malam ini. Baiklah, saya kembalikan semula kepada co-host saya yang berada bersama dengan saudara Clash. Silakan.
Well, as Mir said earlier, as you can see on the hologram, all are white colored. That means that PPR has yet to announce any seats. Well, they have confirmed that PDM has gained 2 BRM2 and PAM1, they have not yet said which seats. Now, behind the scenes, actually, PPR's work is actually seat allocation based on the proportionality of what the popular vote is. So, as you can see on the screen right here, all are zero because we are still not sure. We are waiting for the official goal from PPR actually, and saying that they will allocate the seats. So I'm here with Clash, our long-time political analyst, and can you just tell us what this new revelation in this voting electorate will, and how will it affect PDM's majority, a long-time majority government in Parliament?
All right, let's just say if the results were true, like let's just say 14-10-6, it's going for 14-10-6, we're gonna be seeing a very big change in Malaya, but not just Malaya, because BRM kind of dominates Malaya, but we are also gonna see big change in Borneo, where we may see seats, PAM seats in Borneo, which is unheard of, because because Borneo has long been a stronghold of PDMs, which and for a new party to come in and then take away that control is unprecedented in our electoral history. And now I do mention one thing about what I said before, the swingometer. Let's bring up the swingometer. So how does a swingometer work? It compares the percentage from the previous election to the previous election, and then we see whether the percentages increased or decreased in the for tonight's results. And for now, let us just see the swingometer here. So in G19, PDM had 54.4%, and then in G20, at least as of now, according to the 2:30 p.m. results, we're seeing that PDM will have a decrease of 14.5 percentage points, which would leave them in a hung parliament situation. And BRM would also lose a lot of vote percentages, 9%, and it's gonna split a lot of split the votes. But we cannot disregard the effects of spoiled ballots. We see that because of the administration's decision to allow more voters, we're also seeing a big number of spoiled ballots, and these votes increased significantly from the previous election. In G19, the number of invalid votes were 32, and now in G20, as of now, there are invalid votes of 92. That's an increase of 62 votes, and that's maybe concerning in terms of trying to educate the public. But we're gonna see whether in G21, G22, we're gonna see a decrease in the number of invalid votes, because after all, this is still experimental. But the experimental nature of this election has turned the tides from against BRM to against PDM, because while PAM is splitting BRM votes, they're also splitting PDM's votes, because we predicted that PAM will split BRM's votes, but it turns out PAM is also going to be taking a lot of PDM seats, and this is quite the play. And I've also received from SPR that they're gonna be I've received information from SPR saying, and I quote, "Give us around 5 minutes to revise the results." And I don't know what's going on here, Sherman. Whether they're gonna be on how they're revising the results as it happens, because this has been an unprecedented election. This has been a surprising night. Oh shoot! The wait is over, and And
We're
receiving that,
receiving information that P01 per list is now BRN, which is also a hold by BRN. As I said earlier, that P01 per list is a long time stronghold of BRN, or right now P03 falls to Kelantan. If we can just get a live view at SMK MYS. Alright. As you can see, Kelantan falls to PAM, previously a long-term stronghold of BRM. And again, P11 to PDM, a long-time PDM stronghold. So it's currently 2 hold and 1 gain. Now I expect Clash a long succession of results coming in now. I'm sure you can get along with the analysis later.
yeah. So at the moment we're seeing another one. Oh wow, we're getting results by a lot. So we did see Kelantan being taken by PAM. We're also seeing P11 being held by PDM. So we see that P11 is a stronghold of PDMs. They've been holding it since the 16th general election, and this is no surprise to us. But what's surprising is that Kelantan has been taken by BRM. We do know that Kelantan is a pretty conservative constituency, and it may make sense why PAM took Kelantan. And then I've just received another information from that
PPR.
I received information from PPR that Terengganu PO4 has been won by PAM. We see this again. Terengganu, which is also conservative, but has been a PDM stronghold, and we're seeing strongholds being toppled over by PAM. As we are seeing here, PAM is taking the seats one by one, and this is very unprecedented.
And well, I just have to mention the long history of PDM's reign in Terengganu, just snatch away to PAM, just a swift snatch, which is a strong indication that this election is very much different, isn't it?
It's an understatement to say that this election is different. It's unbelievably exceptional. We've been through 10 elections without this kind of excitement, without this kind of surprise, without this kind of exhilarating moment. We're seeing it happen right before our eyes. And for me, as someone who lived through those elections, G10, G11, and expecting always a new thing to
I'm sorry, Clash. New information here from P05 Seberang Perai. That is another hold by BRM, a long-time stronghold again. So I believe, Clash, we are going to see a lot of holds. And can you just tell the audience what does a hold mean, just in case they don't know?
Right. So when we say that a party holds a constituency, it means that the party has held that constituency before in the previous election, and they won it again this election, which means they hold it. But if in G19 it was won by a party and then in G20 it was won by another party, then that means that seat is gained by that party who won the seat. And then we're also receiving we're receiving more information that Pulau Pinang PO6 has been let's see here, that PO6 has been held by BRM. It's still a BRM hold. And then we see here P13 Selangor Selatan is held by PDM. We're also getting another information of PO7, which is a BRM stronghold as well. It is currently being held by BRM once more.
And just audience, just tally up right now. PDM is at 3, PAM at 2, and BRM is at 5, leading the electoral votes right now. So, Clash, as you said earlier, you said about the swingometer. Can you just explain to us, as we saw earlier, there is like a grey part saying hung parliament. What does it mean if the needle of the swingometer is to actually touch the gray part. What does it mean?
Okay, so before I explain the swingometer, let's just quickly go back to the election results. We got Perak Utara P07. It is currently being held by DRM, and then we also see oh no, this is what I've been expecting. P30 gained by PAM. Where a new party has finally entered the Borneo battleground. And then we see another one, Peter Di Limbang, that was gained by PAM, and now we're seeing another one, P29 Miri, being gained by PAM. We're witnessing a PAM takeover in Borneo, and the PDM dominance in Borneo is currently, as we speak, being challenged by the underdogs. Now, let's just quickly explain the swingometer. Now, if the needle were to pass 10%, that means the vote percentage that PDM has, which was reduced by 10%, that would imply that that PDM would hold no more than 14 seats. No more than 14 seats. Because it says there it would be hung parliament. However, if they had maybe 2% or 4%, that needle would still be in the blue color. What does that imply? Well, minus 2%, minus 4%. That implies that PDM is still gonna get a majority, but they're gonna get less than 18 seats, which remains a loss for PDM. And then we see another. We're getting another news that P24 Kinabatangan is held by PDM. This is the first time that we are seeing a PDM hold in Borneo, and as it stands, we are yet to see the dominance of PDM. Whether PDM could hold their dominance in Borneo, because right now PAM is challenging that dominance, something that BRM hasn't been able to do that before. BRM hasn't been able to do this before, and the new party, the underdogs, PAM, they just joined in this election. They competed, they contested, and now they're getting the results that they are receiving.
They have been waiting for, actually.
Yeah.
And as you have said, are you predicting that Borneo will be falling into PAM's hands this time?
Let's just say that to imply that the entire of Borneo being dominated by PAM may not be possible, because PAM is let's say they're the underdogs. They're the new party in this election, and they haven't been able to prove sufficiently enough to challenge that power that PDM power has over Borneo. But their current power is sufficient enough to convince that Borneo should be held by PAM, and this dominance that PDM has held way long since maybe G11, G12 is being challenged by PAM, and it's quite surprising that we are seeing the underdogs challenging the veteran. So the results currently reflect what a third party can do in an election, because previously we haven't seen a third party winning a seat in parliament, and now we are seeing PAM winning not just one seat but 4 seats in parliament. And this is quite the excitement, this is quite the surprise, this is quite the unprecedented moment in the Malaysian electoral history since around 3 to 4 years ago.
So right now we'll be looking at the political climate, and just to give us a litmus test, I will be talking to our top candidates right now who are also with us in the studio as we are reacting to to this live on the news. So let's take a look at our grand old party, as we call it, Mr. Vertical. And Mr. Vertical, what is it like right now at PDM HQ? Are they freaking out? Are they very calm? Or are you still remaining confident throughout all of this?
Well, PDM is the party is being they're staying calm for now, but to be honest, I think we're getting quite nervous at the results here.
Alright, I see. And Mr. Dark Knight right here, well, very surprisingly, in BRM right now, we are seeing that BRM is leading at 5 states, and PDM and PAM both behind you at 4. So, what is the current feeling in your HQ right now?
In our HQ, we are quite surprised that this term we start to leading comparing to the previous term that didn't happen in the history. But we still need to look on analysis as long as we're confident that we can truly deliver what exactly the people want. So in the HQ, we are exciting and keep waiting on what the PPR will be announcing in the next.
Alright, and Mr. William, Mr. Clash just described your party, your coalition as quote-unquote the underdogs. Now, for an underdog, a new party, a third option as the media calls it, to be leading this far in the polls, are you surprised?
Well, thank you, Mr. Simon. This is a quite surprise for us. Where we are, like Mr. Simon said, we are underdogs, the new party. But we're quite happy now in the HQ. Why? Because this is quite great for us. Where we success to bring voice of people, and we success to bring a new wave for the parliament and for the politics for MYS.
Alright, thank you very much, Mr. William. And I've just received information from PPR that PO8 has been held by BRM, and P19 Johor Selatan by PDM, which is another hold by PDM. So the current tally is PDM 5, BRM 6, and PAM 4. Now I have on the phone Mr. Bernard G. Templer, which is the Deputy Prime Minister candidate for PDM, and I have him on the line right here. Can you hear me, Mr. Bernard?
Hello. It's a pleasure to be here. I can hear you.
Alright, thank you, Mr. Bernard, for being here with us today. And what is your initial reaction to this results coming in from SMK MYS?
So I think it was largely expected that we would see a swing due to the expansion of voting, and the results have been consistent with our expectations. Although it does seem to be a bigger swing than anybody in the political scene has predicted. I feel that this is truly a seismic change for Malaysian politics, and that the status quo has been shattered. It will no longer be the same from now on.
And with this status quo changing,
Chairman, I just to interrupt, the P18 Johor Utara has been gained by BRM. This was a seat previously held by PDM, and now they're gonna return back to BRM's hands. And we're seeing another one, a change of heart by the people of P15, Putrajaya. Putrajaya finally returns to the hands of PDM. It was previously held by BRM, and now it has been gained by PDM. This administrative capital of Malaysia goes back to the hands of PDM once more. And then we see another announcement there. Borneo blackout 28 Cebu held gained by PAM. We're seeing, as many people would call and as the people backstage are calling it in my earpiece, this is Borneo blackout ongoing, and we can now confirm that the state of Sarawak is being dominated by PAM. They have held 3 out of the 5 constituencies in Sarawak, and now we're seeing a PAM blackout in Sarawak. This is unprecedented. PDM has lost control in one of the states in Borneo. PAM holds 3 seats in parliament now, controlling the state of Sarawak, and this is something that I haven't seen. This is something that I have yet to see, even in G10, when the political climate was so heated, when it was so intense. And we're hearing again, let me
16.
see that. Yeah,
Negeri
P16.
Sembilan, yeah. It's held by PDM. It's held by PDM, and with P15, Putrajaya, the administrative capital gained by, not really gained, but it's a return to PDM's hands. And I have here back on the line, Mr. Bernard. Are you still there reacting to all of this?
Yeah. Oh, great. I've just received news. This is really shocking.
Wow, that is.
We are seeing Sri Aman, your historical seat, being taken by PAM. What is your current reaction?
I think that, for better or worse, today marks a new dawn for Malaysia politics. Moving forward, this is really a seismic change that the nation will have to come to grasp with. The fact that Malaysia is no longer dominated by 2 parties, and that PAM has made a very, very strong showing. Really, that's the democracy at work. Is the will of the people, even with the controversial expansion of voting.
I see, and as you say, democracy at work, and we'll return back to Clash shortly just to tell us about it. Clash?
Wow, that was a devastating result for Bernard G. Templer right there. But just to say real quick, P26 Kuching held by PDM. However, let's go back quickly to Sriaman. That was Bernard's seat, and I believe that Bernard here is the shadow cabinet for PDM. And usually shadow cabinets, when they're gonna be government, they're gonna win that seat. Does this mean that the results imply that PDM will not be government? Does the results imply that that glory days of PDM being the ruling party is over? Is there a possibility even that PDM may not be government? And we've received another news, P25 Tawau. Unsurprising, Tawau, let's see. Tawau held by PDM. And the current tally right now is PDM 9, BRM 7, and PAM 6. And then another one, PO5, Perakutara. A lot of results are coming in. Perakutara is being held by BRM. And this is quite the result. We are seeing Sarawak blackout. We're seeing the current prime minister, actually, the current prime minister's seat being taken away from him, and instead to a member in PAM. And we're seeing again I believe P10 Selatan being held by BRM.
Oh, very shocking revelation here. We'll return shortly to Mia just to explain it in Malay. Mia?
Baiklah, itu antara kejutan yang kita boleh nampak. Mungkin kalau kita boleh terjemahkan dalam satu pantun berbunyi begini. Secara langsung MYS Melayu PRU 20 rakyat diperkasa. Bunga Demokrat semakin melayu. Kapal dan tanjak kembali berkuasa. Apa agaknya kejutan yang dapat kita sama-sama saksikan pada ketika ini? Rakan-rakan host saya sudah pun mengumumkan kerusi demi kerusi yang baru sahaja dan sekarang ni yang baru saja masuk di skrin anda. P20 untuk Labuan baru saja dimenangi oleh Parti Demokratik Malaysia, menjadikan jumlah kerusi pada ketika ini untuk PDM adalah 10 BRM 8 manakala Perikatan Anak Malaysia PAM adalah sebanyak 6 kerusi. Pastinya ada banyak cerita dan kita ada baki lebih kurang daripada 30 kerusi. Kita sudah pun diumumkan beberapa kerusi, iaitu lebih kurang 18 ke 24 kerusi yang sudah pun diumumkan, menyebabkan sekarang ini kita ada tinggal beberapa kerusi sahaja lagi yang tinggal untuk kita menantikan keputusan yang seperti yang saudara Clash sendiri gambarkan tadi. Parlimen tergantung mungkin akan berlaku kalau kita melihatkan pada skor kita pada saat ini. Jadi dengan skor sekarang ini PDM 10, BRM 8 dan PAM 6. Pastinya sekarang ni kalau mungkin sebelum saya kembalikan semula pada Sherman untuk kita tanyakan reaksi bagi wakil parti yang saya kira sekarang ni dubdak di dalam hati mereka, untuk kita sama-sama menantikan keputusan penuh yang tinggal berbaki beberapa kerusi sahaja lagi. Kira-kira
thank you, Mia. I'm
6
sure.
kerusi. Silakan Sherman.
Oh, thank you. And I'm sure you have seen me hopping over to Clash just now, just to look at the board. And if you can see, I'm not sure if you can see it, but just look at the hologram right there. We have it. We have just updated it, and as you can see on the left side, it's all blue colored, and on the right side it's flat colored, which is PAM. On the top side you can see the red colored block, which is what the leading is BRM. So Clash, can you just tell us quickly that have you seen this kind of results being announced in Parliament? I've not seen it. Have you?
I haven't seen these kinds of results since 4 years ago, as I've said. And just to prove to the audience, yes, this is indeed a hologram. And to continue to further expound on that, we're seeing here that we have 6 seats remain left in our possession, and currently we don't know whether PDM will wipe these 6 seats out or whether BRM will get one of the seats. Either way, if BRM gets one of these seats, it's gonna work. We can't safely project that it's gonna be a hung parliament. But if PDM gets one of these seats, for now, we cannot ensure the panic. At least PDM will get one seat. They get one seat, and then maybe that will calm the situation temporarily. But if BRM gets one of these seats, it's gonna imply immediately that this is a hung parliament, because all BRM needs right now for a hung parliament is just one seat. That is what they need, because right now BRM plus PAM 14 seats, and then if BRM gets another one, that's 9 seats. 9 plus 6, 15 seats. That would mean a hung parliament. PDM would not get the majority they need. And I will get back to you. You will all get back to me when I have to declare the results right here.
Alright, no worries. And are we certain right now at this stage to really give a prediction that we are heading towards a hung parliament at this moment?
The current indication currently implies that yes, a hung parliament might happen, because we're seeing here that it only requires one seat to, and that has received a lot of. So we're currently receiving a lot of information, but we haven't processed it yet. But we're listening right now that all of the results have been all announced, and currently we're trying to process the results. Oh dear. I just heard from the election from backstage that TO9 has been won by BRM. And
Alright,
then
I think the count right now after alright, so the count has been officially tallied. BRM is at 11, PDM is at 13, and PAM is at 6. So, well, we'll just give you time to quickly update the hologram.
Okay, I'll just quickly declare the results right here, right now. That with PDM holding 13 seats, BRM holding 11 seats, PAM holding 6 seats, we can now declare officially that it will be a hung parliament tonight. The 20th Parliament of Malaysia will be hung, and currently there is a possibility of a coalition government between PAM and either of the parties, PDM and BRM. So right now we do not know who will be the government. We do not know who will be the Prime Minister, but right now we declare a hung parliament officially. We officially declare once again
Alright.
that this is a hung parliament.
Alright, and we'll just give you time to update the hologram as I quickly head back to the candidates here. And well, I will just talk to you first, Mr. William. Wow, a hung parliament. What is your reaction to this?
Well, a hung parliament. Well, this is quite interesting and quite interesting about the MYS politics. And we get a 6 seat from the PIM, Perikatan Anak Malaysia, and we what is it? What people for and trust. But this Mr. Sherman, I think this mungkin ini untuk pertama kalinya yang kita lihat parlimen gantung. Wah, ini saya pun sangat terkejut lah. Dalam HQ ni pun semua dalam keadaan panik ni. Sebab kita telah meramalkan hang parlimen akan terjadi. So, I just want to say, I don't know who will be the government, but I think the future of MYS and democracy of MYS telah terbukti berjalan dengan baik.
Alright, Mr. William, and well, Mr. Dark Knight, what is the mood currently in BRM HQ? Have you foreseen, has your party predicted that the parliament is heading towards a hung parliament?
Obviously, the coalition never experienced this kind of hung parliament, even from the establishment. So it's quite new and quite surprising that when the moment is a hung parliament happen, even inside of the insider report that we have rotated, that might be PDM getting more seats than our expect, and PAM will only getting like 4 or 5 seats, and we will be losing our seats according to what the response from the public. But right now, what is the outcoming is actually quite surprising us, and it's time to like saying that, oh, we need to find out who will be the kingmaker for it. So we need to like resolve it for everything.
I see. The kingmaker, it will only be a matter of time. The question right now is not whether who will be the Prime Minister, but when will we get a Prime Minister. So Mr. Vertical right here, what is the reaction of your party? What is your reaction yourself to this new revelation, a new situation that we have here? Mr. Vertical?
I think that a hung parliament was it was not what I was expecting. I expected at least a slim majority. The party's reaction now is we're now rushing to discuss with PLC. We're rushing to discuss with the other parties to see if we can form a government.
Well, and Mr. Vertical, forgive me if I ask, but what is in your mind right now, and who do you consider to be your next colleague in Putrajaya?
Sorry, what was that?
Well, let me repeat then. What is currently in your mind, and who do you think will be your next colleague in Putrajaya if you ever get to form a coalition?
Well, I'm not sure yet. My thoughts, I'm very distracted now. My thoughts are like, they're a bit all over the place. I was not expecting this outcome. It's, yeah.
Alright, as expected from a leader, from you. And alright, let's talk to Mr. Bernard. Is he still on the line, Mr. Bernard? Can you hear?
Hello, Sherman.
Hello, Mr. Bernard. And a shocking revelation, like you said earlier, the status quo has been significantly changed. And well, did you expect it to change it to this point, to have a hung parliament like this?
I think many of us within the political scene expected some degree of change. Probably not to this extent as Vertical has mentioned, and even BRM has mentioned that this level of change was not predicted. That this truly has been a very, very big change to the status quo.
And given that you have lost your seat to PAM, how are you going to adapt it?
I cannot comment on that at the moment. I will have to discuss with the party, and we will see our we'll set our approach forward in the coming hours and days.
All right, thank you, Mr. Bernard. We'll talk to Mr. Bernard later on, and for now, more insights by Mr. Emily. Mr. Mia.
Baiklah, ceritanya ataupun keputusan rasminya sudah pun kita dapatkan pada ketika ini setelah SPR sudah pun mengumumkan keputusan penuh bagi PRU ke-20 menyaksikan tiada sebuah parti pun yang berjaya memiliki majoriti mudah untuk membentuk kerajaan. Ini bermakna mungkinkah sekarang ini? Sebab kalau kita lihat tadi apabila saudara Sherman bertanyakan soalan kepada Datuk Vertical Limit mewakili Parti Demokratik Malaysia, sedang orang kata mungkin ada sesuatu yang dibincangkan di balik tirai MYS Memilih kita pada ketika ini. Baiklah, kita nak paparkan sekarang ini keputusan penuh yang telah pun diumumkan oleh Pasukan Pilihan Raya. Apabila ini dia grafiknya kita boleh tunjukkan kepada anda. Inilah keputusan rasminya apabila Parti Demokratik Malaysia berjaya memenangi 13 kerusi, manakala Barisan Rakyat Malaysia memenangi 11 kerusi, manakala Perikatan Anak Malaysia berjaya menguasai 6 kerusi. Dan pastinya ini adalah keputusan penuh bagi kerusi-kerusi yang dipertandingkan. Kita dapat lihat bagi Perikatan Anak Malaysia menguasai kerusi Kelantan, Terengganu, Seri Aman, Sibu, Miri dan juga Limbang, yang mana sebelum ini bagi kawasan Borneo yang dipegang oleh Parti Demokratik Malaysia, namun kini mereka orang kata sebagai pencabar baharu di kawasan Borneo. Ini mereka sudah pun menunjukkan ataupun memberikan bahawa mereka bukanlah biasa-biasa untuk hadir menyumbangkan bakti kepada rakyat Malaysia. Jadi itulah dia keputusan yang dapat sama-sama kita saksikan pada ketika ini, sambil mungkin ramai di antara kita mungkin menyaksikan keputusan daripada invote terutamanya, yang menyaksikan bahawa pada pada hari ini memang dikuasai oleh ramai rakyat yang turun, melebihi hampir 500 orang dan sebagainya. Jadi saya serahkan kepada saudara Clash. I giving back the studio for you, Clash, for explaining about the hang parliament of the 20th. Silakan, Clash.
Right, so this is one of the most unprecedented events in the Malaysian electoral history. We haven't seen a race so unbelievably tighter than this. And if I just look at the data right now, the swingometer now shows that PDM lost around 23.6% of the votes compared to last election, which means the percentage they lost the 23.6 percentage, which means this is truly the percentage, the amount that truly broke the I believe the swingometer. It broke the swingometer. We meant for the swingometer to simply to just stay at 20%, but tonight it has exceeded 20%. We see that PDM has lost 23.6% of the amount of vote percentage that they got. And then we see also BRM not losing much, just 6%. And this is the most unbelievable results. We didn't predict that the results would be unbelievably close. We didn't expect the results to be so surprising tonight. So let me just quickly change the seats here. Let me just right. Okay, so 6, and then oh, never mind. There we go. All right, so I believe BRM got 11 seats. So let's try to find. There we go. So 11 seats right there. And let me just eliminate that real quick. Oh no. Yep. Oh no. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. So 11 seats right there. Yeah, it's quite the seat to. Yeah, it's quite hard. It's quite difficult to try. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's try 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. And maybe the audience could clip this as well. Me struggling how to get the seats going. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,
PDM
11, 12, 13.
Okay.
There we go. Yeah, there we go.
Alright.
This is the current
there we
composition
go.
of Parliament. I have been struggling for about a minute, but now we're currently seeing. Now we see here, PAM winning 6 seats, and then we see here BRM winning 11 seats. We predicted that they would get only just 10 seats, but tonight they have won big. They won 11 seats. Maybe not so much of a gain, but they did only lose around 1 seat. Meanwhile, to the contrary, PDM, they lost 5 seats. Most of them were lost to PAM. They lost around, I believe, lost 5 seats. Yeah, 5 seats. They lost 5 seats. 4 of them were gained by PAM, and then BRM also got.
I'm sorry, Clash. We have breaking news. We have a short statement from Istana Negara, and Mir, can you tell us what is Istana Negara telling us?
Baiklah, kita ada satu kenyataan rasmi yang dikeluarkan oleh pihak Istana Negara yang memaklumkan, ini adalah kenyataan yang dikeluarkan oleh Istana Negara. Pihak Istana Negara pada masa kini masih menunggu keputusan rasmi Pilihan Raya Umum ke-20 untuk diserahkan oleh Suruhanjaya Pilihan Raya. Keputusan tersebut dijangka akan diserahkan pada malam ini dan kenyataan rasmi akan dikeluarkan oleh Istana Negara sejurus selepas keputusan PRU diterima. Bermakna sebaik sahaja daripada SMK MYS, Pasukan Pilihan Raya akan menyerahkan keputusan rasmi Pilihan Raya Umum ke-20 kepada Yang di-Pertuan Agong, Seri Paduka Baginda Yang di-Pertuan Agong Tuanku, untuk barangkali akan memutuskan sesuatu, dan mungkin kita tidak pasti apakah yang akan berlaku pada malam ni. Malam ini sangat panjang bagi saya untuk kita meramalkan sesuatu. Barangkali juga bagi Parti Demokratik Malaysia, Barisan Rakyat Malaysia dan juga Perikatan Anak Malaysia, mungkin sekarang ini agak sibuk di tempat mereka masing-masing untuk memastikan ataupun untuk membentuk kerajaan. Apakah yang mungkin kita akan sama-sama saksikan? Kita tunggu nanti kenyataan Istana Negara yang akan kami bawakan dari semasa ke semasa sepanjang malam ini. Baiklah, saya kembali semula kepada Clash untuk perbincangan seterusnya.
Yeah, well, I believe that for Istana, I think they're also surprised that the results tonight have reflected a different kind of results. So currently, if we translate it to English, Istana Negara is currently still waiting for the official results of the 20th election. So currently, the official results are being submitted to Istana for the king to see, and then a lot of those bureaucratic processes. And then we see that the result, and we do receive news that the results are expected to be submitted as late as tonight. So around 1 hour for SPR to submit the results right now, or maybe even going way beyond midnight. And Istana also is saying that an official statement will be issued immediately after the results of the 20th general election is received. So so with the results on right now, I'm sure very well that parties in their respective headquarters are discussing on whether to form a coalition. Of course, PDM is probably discussing whether to form a coalition government with BRM or PAM, and BRM trying to discuss a coalition between maybe PDM and PAM, and PAM of course trying to discuss a coalition with either between BRM and PDM, and we're currently seeing politics at play. People interacting with parties interacting with each other, trying to form a government. So if we recap before, PAM did want to work together with BRM, and it is currently now up to BRM whether they want to work together with PAM, therefore forming a simple majority and therefore forming a coalition government. And this would mark the first electoral this would mark the first time BRM becomes government through an election. They previously became government through BUVA, and now they're becoming government through forming a coalition government right after the election with PAM. And I think this is quite quite the result that we are seeing. It is absolutely incomprehensible. Nobody was expecting this. Nobody was predicting this. We thought that PDM would come back as the ruling party, and turns out it was all false. Bernard G. Templar lost his seat today. PDM lost control over the state of Sarawak because PAM took 4 out of the 5 seats in Sarawak, and that I think speaks something about the state of democracy that we are currently experiencing a very swift socio-political change in Malaysia right now. It is very swift. We went from we didn't expect this because previously the elections were just PDM majority, and now we're seeing the prospect of BRM becoming government. And that I think I have to process it as well right after I get home, maybe after this broadcast I will discuss the election with the esteemed guests and with the host tonight. This is truly unprecedented. Back to you, Mir.
Baiklah, itulah dia antara ulasan yang boleh katakan ataupun diberikan oleh saudara saya Clash, yang menandakan ada macam-macam perkara yang kita tidak dapat nak meramalkan pada malam ini. Pastinya suatu malam yang cukup mendebarkan bagi kita semua. Lebih-lebih lagi kita menunggu mungkin akan ada kenyataan rasmi daripada Istana Negara, sama ada ianya akan dikeluarkan secepatnya mungkin. Tetapi sebelum tu mungkin kalau kita hendak recap semula, kita nak tunjukkan apa yang sudah kami paparkan kepada anda daripada awal lagi mengenai apakah ramalan kami berdasarkan swingometer dan sebagainya. Semuanya seperti yang dijangkakan, ianya menepati apa yang telah kami jangkakan pada malam ni. Apabila Parlimen dengan secara rasminya boleh kami katakan ianya sudah pun tergantung. Jadi mungkin saya akan paparkan sekarang di skrin anda swingometer terkini berserta dengan kerusi-kerusi yang dimenangi oleh mereka. Jadi inilah dia keputusannya apabila Parlimen ke-20 dalam sejarah MYS ini tergantung. Soalannya sekarang ni, siapakah yang akan berbincang? Siapakah yang akan membentuk kerajaan dengan lebih pantas pada malam ini sebelum Istana Negara barangkali menitahkan untuk melakukan demikian? Dan inilah dia kerusi yang dimenangi secara keseluruhannya di Dewan Rakyat untuk Parlimen ke-20 apabila Parti Demokratik Malaysia memenangi 13 kerusi, BRM dengan 11 kerusi, manakala PAM ataupun PAM, Perikatan Anak Malaysia, memenangi sebanyak 6 kerusi. Jadi kalau kita melihat mungkin sebentar lagi saya akan serahkan kepada Clash barangkali untuk menerangkan mengenai dengan swingometer kita. Mungkin ada pandangan ataupun pembetulan yang mungkin boleh Clash memberikan clarification, Clash, maybe about the swingometer. Can you?
No.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So I've just looked at the swingometer again, and I did send a correction back to studio that so let's just say that the current swingometer is actually not reflecting the results, how crazy the results is. To clarify very quickly, the swingometer that we had was only able to handle a reduction of 20 percentage points. However, tonight we saw that PDM had a reduction of 23.6 percentage points. So basically the swingometer broke. It broke because it couldn't handle the remaining 3.6 percentage points that we should have been able to accommodate before. So basically, let's just say that the swingometer basically broke. It couldn't handle that much percentage points, and maybe next election we should increase it to handle maybe 30%, a reduction of 30 percentage points, because this is truly unprecedented. Even our swingometer couldn't predict the results, and this is quite the crazy election tonight. And if I had to explain the swingometer right now, the current swingometer that we have right now is, it needs to be corrected so that it could reflect of how much the reduction of the percentage points broke the swingometer.
I'm sorry, Clash. I have to interject once again, but Istana Negara has just given us another press statement, and that is going to be read by Mia. Mia, can you just give us the statement?
Baiklah, kita ada menerima satu lagi kenyataan media daripada Istana Negara pada ketika ini, di mana Istana Negara telah pun menerima keputusan penuh Pilihan Raya Umum ke-20 oleh Pasukan Pilihan Raya PPR kepada Datuk Pengelola Bijaya Diraja Istana Negara. Dan kebarangkalian kita akan menerima kenyataan media daripada Istana Negara yang akan dikeluarkan lebih kurang 30 minit daripada sekarang. Pastinya dalam tempoh 30 minit ini kewibawaan Istana Negara pastinya tertumpu sekarang ni. Rakyat Malaysia, pastinya anda yang sedang menyaksikan secara langsung kami daripada awal sehinggalah sekarang, mungkin menantikan apakah strategi, apakah yang sedang dibincangkan oleh kesemua parti pada malam ini, terutamanya Parti Demokratik Malaysia yang mempunyai 13 kerusi, dan tidak dapat dinafikan juga Barisan Rakyat Malaysia dan juga Perikatan Anak Malaysia masing-masing dengan 11 dan juga 6 kerusi. Jadi kita akan menantikan dan mungkin kita akan serahkan kembali kepada Clash. Dan sebenarnya saya ada satu soalan. I have a question that I want to ask to Clash, but I let him to finish the discussion earlier. Silakan Clash.
Okay, so so basically let's just sum up real quick. Swingometer broke. It couldn't handle 20 percentage points. And now I'm currently receiving reports by the public that currently in Bungaraya there are currently protests in the city. We are yet to confirm whether these reports are true, but currently we are receiving unofficial reports that there are currently protests in Bungaraya. We're sending a team to monitor the situation down there, But as we are hearing right now that there are currently demonstrations in the streets of Kuala Lumpur, this may also mark the first time that there is uh, an organized demonstration against the election results, and and let's just say it wouldn't be unusual because we're currently seeing a very swift social change, and it appears that we have received a new call. Chairman, let's handle that call.
And I have on the line Spectre Triton, the Internal Affairs Department Officer / the Party Leadership Council member of PDM, Mr. Spectre. Triton, are you there?
Yes, hello, I'm speaking.
Hello, Salam. And so you just called in to National Wire Service 20th General Elections coverage, and I hope you are here to give us your views on the current breaking news that there are hung parliament declared. So what is your thoughts on this?
Well, hung parliament is expected actually. I think it's not surprising to us. I think most of us expected it already. However, how the parties deal with it is a different matter for now. We have to focus on how the ruling parties, which is PDM and BRM, the two major components of the party, how are they going to progress from here? Are they going to negotiate to form a government together? Because most people think that PAM is the kingmaker in this election. However, I think it's a different story here. You see, I don't think BRM and PDM both will, risk having. Well, I'm not downgrading them. Instead, I'm just saying that if they have PM as their, the coalition government, part of the coalition government, it means most of the time, they will have to provide them with a cabinet seat, and this is a dangerous precedent, I believe. I do not speak for on behalf of my party, but I believe both BRM and PDM will likely reconsider of going to PAM for support from a government. So it's going to be interesting to see how it goes from here. I think it's likely we're seeing a government with more than 20 seats. We don't know. I cannot say for sure. But for now, my prediction is going to be that PM won't form a government.
I'm sorry, Mr. Triton, but we are breaking news right now. We are saying that there are reports of a protest in front of the Kuala Lumpur bus depot, that there are currently protests happening against the hung parliament situation. We go now live to Kuala Lumpur, Bungaraya. Thank you very much, Mr. Spectre, for your time. Unfortunately, you have to break the news here. And we're just saying right now that, as you can see on the screen, that there are firecrackers. The police are responding to the riots right now. It's unclear to pinpoint whether that this is directly due to the ongoing hung parliament situation. We are still not sure. We are trying to get a better view of the situation right now, but this is the best one we can get for now. As you can see, most of the characters are not yet loaded because we are just trying to break the news as quick as we can. So coming back to the studio now, we'll be interviewing other members of the inside the studio here, just to get their views on the current protests. And Mr. Vertical, what are your thoughts on this, on the current protests happening due to this crisis that we're having?
Well, this is unprecedented. I mean, we haven't had a protest regarding election results since forever. As long as I remember, I guess we've never had protests for election results. And I guess, as what Triton said, it's a very dangerous precedent to do.
Oh, and I'm just getting news right now that the police convoy, which is leading, as you can see right there, those helmets which are red colored, in front of the fire thrown by the protesters, they are now advancing, as I'm hearing now right now from the on ground correspondent. We're still not sure whether. Oh, as you can see right there, that's the sign Parlimen Gantung and quote-unquote Reformasi. We're not sure who are the participants of this protest right now. As you can see, it's a very dangerous situation unfolding in front of us at the KLBT bus terminal. And we'll move on with Mr. Dark Knight, PM candidate of Pilihan Raya Malaysia. Mr. Dark Knight, this is just unprecedented. We have not seen people protesting against the results of an election since a very, very long time ago. What do you think about this?
Our coalition actually is quite like, how do we say? It's quite surprise. It keeps surprising us from the beginning of the election until right now the condition, because what actually is happened, what we call is a democracy move, obviously, but when the moment is something new for us, like we never experienced on this kind of thing. Even the Hang Parliament, we used to be saying that in the previous term or the previous 2 terms, but it never happened. But when the moment it become a reality, we'll be like, oh, it become a reality, and what should we do, and what exactly that we're going to move on for? So what is our next step? This kind of question is keep appearing inside of the coalition, and we need to like trying to resolve it as fast as we could, so that when the moment the people won't be like suffering from waiting the government result or waiting for what exactly will be happen in the DR.
And Mr. Dark Knight, just for yourself and try to make a prediction, how long do you think we have to wait, Malaysians have to wait until we can get a prime minister, a legitimate government at this stage? What do you think?
I can't guarantee that the time for waiting, because there's a lot of things to be negotiated, no matter to PAM or to PDM, because there's a lot of things that having a differences opinion in both sides, and when the moment we need to combine both, there's a lot of things to be discussed to combine it, and also like we can't really think that the time will be shortened, because our objective is for the people, no matter it's PDM, PAM or BRM itself. Everyone who are working in here is for the people. So I can't guarantee that the time will be very short, but it won't be that long. Maybe around 1 day after we'll be having a final result from the side of the politics.
Alright, thank you, Mr. Dark Knight. A very positive answer you gave us here. We may have to wait for just a day. But now on to Clash, on further analysis, Clash.
Alright, so I'm currently sitting on the table here. So we did receive report. Now we should probably confirm reports from here that yes, there are ongoing riots in Kuala Lumpur. For maybe residents of Kuala Lumpur, please avoid Jalan Ampang as of now. Avoid Jalan Ampang and its surroundings. Maybe also avoid Jalan Hampshire, because currently, if I'm hearing correctly, the headquarters of Police Bantuan is also being attacked by rioters, and as we can see there, we are seeing fires, and police just dispersed and then they quickly reassembled because currently there is not enough manpower to handle these sorts of situation. We haven't seen these kinds of events right after an election, and right there we are seeing all kinds of chaos, and the police is unable to move forward into the KLBT, into the Kuala Lumpur bus terminal, which is being attacked, and the police is most likely trying very, very hard to approach that police station. But right now we are We are now receiving a statement from Pasukan Pilihan Raya. Mir, more on that.
Baiklah, kita menerima satu kenyataan rasmi daripada Pasukan Pilihan Raya yang mana saya akan bacakan dalam bahasa Melayu, kemudian saya akan serahkan kepada Clash untuk ulasan dalam bahasa Inggeris, di mana dalam ulasan ini kenyataan yang dikeluarkan oleh bahagian pentadbiran MYS Bus yang mengatakan bahawa keputusan Pilihan Raya Umum ke-20 sudah pun secara rasminya berakhir pada hari ini pada jam 10 malam pada 30 Mac 2024 hari Sabtu. Tiga parti yang berdaftar untuk bersaing dalam pilihan raya ini iaitu Parti Demokratik Malaysia PDM, Barisan Rakyat Malaysia BRM dan juga Perikatan Anak Malaysia PAM. Sebanyak 860 kertas undi telah diterima sepanjang 6 sesi undian sepanjang 2 hari ini. Itu daripada 29 Mac melibatkan sesi pengundian awal dan 30 Mac bagi sesi rasmi pada hari ini. Ini menandakan sejarah baru yang telah direkodkan oleh MYS Bus SIM, terutamanya dalam istilah turnout. 113 telah disahkan sebagai undi rosak kerana mungkin salah tanda ataupun gagal mengikuti piawaian untuk disahkan undi itu. Jumlah undi yang diterima oleh PDM adalah 326 undi, mewakili 44% bagi undi yang sah. BRM menerima 265 undi, mewakili 35% undi yang sah, manakala PAM menerima 156 undi, mewakili 21% bagi undi yang sah. Setakat ini tiada parti yang mencapai majoriti mudah yang diperlukan untuk membentuk kerajaan persekutuan. Dan dalam pada itu, seperti yang dimaklumkan tadi, kira-kira kita ada lagi 17 minit sebelum Istana Negara memaklumkan pada jam 11.30 malam akan mengeluarkan satu kenyataan rasmi. Jadi kita mungkin akan menantikan perkara itu. So, Clash, berdasarkan based on the statement that have been released by election teams, what's your opinion, Clash?
Right, so let's just quickly go over the statement by PR. So a total of 860 ballots were received across all six voting sessions across 2 days from 29 March and 30 March. This officially exceeds recorded history of MYS first SIM in terms of turnout, wherein 3 ballots were deemed invalid, or as we know it, undi rusak, due to incorrect marking or failing to meet the voting eligibility requirements. The total number of votes received by PDM stood at 326, representing 44% of the total valid votes. BRM received 265 votes, representing 35% of the total valid votes, and PAM received 156 votes, representing 21% of the total valid votes.
Sorry,
No
Clash,
party.
sorry to interrupt, but we are still bringing in breaking news, live situation from Bungaraya right now. That our correspondents are telling us that the police cordon is now currently shooting tear gas cans and rubber bullets on the protesters right now. As you can see, I'm not sure if the video is showing up on the screen or not, but
Oh
our
my God.
correspondents are just describing this as a whole chaotic scene, as you are seeing right now. And the yellow sign, is showing that bersurai jika tidak kita akan tembak, which means if you don't disperse right now, we are going to shoot. And we, of course, representing the police, and it's just absolute chaos described by a Malaysian right now. It's just complete chaos. Clash, what do you think about this?
So I just saw in the footage that civilian car just crashed into the police line of the of the FRU unit, and currently the police officers are also advancing, and we're receiving reports that police officers are using live bullets to disperse the current crowd. And I don't think that live bullets, and these are unconfirmed reports as of now. We are receiving reports that the FRU team are shooting live rounds after shooting rubber bullets. Now they're shooting live rounds which are lethal and may cause casualties. And this is currently the most chaotic this is the most chaotic scenes I've ever seen after a general election. We haven't even got 1 hour after the election, and we're already seeing chaos in KL right now, and this is all, and we're currently seeing many civilians being detained, many civilians being dispersed, many civilians being beaten by batons, and we're currently trying very hard to receive reports that are truly factual and confirmed. But right now we are only depending on reports that are being given by the public and also given by our team who are currently on field in
That's right,
Kuala Lumpur.
Flash. As you can see, 2 police officers are chasing on pursuit on foot of this apparent protester who have just participated earlier. Just horrible scenes that we are seeing at Kuala Lumpur. Apparently, there are still some protesters still throwing firecrackers and creating this whole scene.
Oh,
Right there, you can see another police helicopter just passed over ours, just trying to get a confirmed picture, because the scene itself, it appears that they have dispersed, yes, but it does not seem like it is isolated to one place like just now, which was in front of the KLBT. And as you can see, in front of the bus terminal, it's barricaded heavily by police officers. I suppose they are the police bantuan. And right now, yeah, the whole scene is just chaotic. And we return back to our studio here with Mr. William still with us. Mr. William, are you there?
Yes, I'm there.
Right, Mr. William, what do you think about the protests currently happening at Kuala Lumpur?
Well, Mr. Simon, this is a completely beyond prediction, and this is a very dangerous for a social and political issue. And this situation, we are really hear a lot of surprise. From a few hours we are hearing the announcement of election, the result of election until now. Now we are here, there is a some protest cause a parliament gantung. This situation is a quiet tense from the politics and the science of the MYS.
I see. And do you have a time in your mind, like how long are we going to wait for new government to form?
Well, like Mr. Doc Knight, Mr. Knight say, we cannot guarantee we find the coalition to form a new government. We now see a hung of parliament, and now at the head skill, Perikatan Malaysia High Council has already discussed who will be the coalition, and the palm will decay maybe after tomorrow or next hour. We'll decide who will be the coalition, or we gonna be opposition, or gonna be a coalition to make a government.
Alright, Mr. William, thank you very much. And we return to Mr. Clash, who will bring us the latest on data analysis of the elections that we have just witnessed. Thank you, Mr. Clash.
yeah. Okay. So as I'm seeing here, and we should probably repeat the reports again, just in case you just entered the broadcast. Breaking news: there are currently riots in Kuala Lumpur, Bungaraya, and we are currently advising all civilians in Kuala Lumpur to avoid the Jalan Ampang area and to avoid Jalan Hampshire as well. And we are currently also seeing a civilian protester being detained by a police officer in riot gear. And right now, for the data analysis, not much to talk about it, to be honest. There's not much to talk about it because I did discuss about it just now. But
Clash,
just to finish up the statement,
Clash,
sorry, just to finish up the
alright.
yes, sorry.
continue.
Yeah. Just to finish up the statement right now, no party achieved the simple majority threshold needed to form the federal government, and it is of my opinion that we may get the we may get a coalition government as soon as tomorrow. If not tomorrow, maybe in 2 days. And we are also receiving reports that there are detainees in Kuala Lumpur bus terminal. Currently, Kuala Lumpur bus terminal is being hounded by chaos. So to all civilians, please avoid the area around Ampang. To avoid the area around Jalan Ampang, avoid all areas around Jalan Ampang. This means also Plaza Rakyat. This also means we are also advising people to avoid KLCC as well, and we are also most importantly, we are telling people to avoid Kuala Lumpur bus terminal. To all public transportation users, Kuala Lumpur bus terminal is currently unusable and are swarmed by protesters, and also swarmed by police officers. We are also now receiving a call in. Miss Sherman, you can handle that.
Alright, thank you, Clash. We are just receiving a call from Mr. Yao Shi Isku, 31st Prime Minister of Malaysia. Mr. Yao? I'm not sure if the connection. Alright, Mr. Yao is apparently having problems on his end. Just give him a little time, but Clash, could you please continue on what you were saying about the elections earlier?
Yeah, okay, so let me just continue real quick. As you can see right now that police officers are starting to detain protesters in Kuala Lumpur bus terminal. We are currently seeing police officers showing absolutely no mercy to protesters today. We saw police officers using rubber bullets and then quickly using live rounds. And then we are also now seeing that police officers are detaining protesters. And I believe there are currently no more fires ongoing in Kuala Lumpur, at least on Jalan Ampang. But at the moment, Jalan Ampang remains unsafe to be passed through. Please use alternative routes around Jalan Ampang, and please at the moment try your best to avoid Jalan Ampang as well.
Alright, thank you, Clash. And as I said earlier, we have a call in from Mr. Yao Shi, 31st Prime Minister of Malaysia. So, Mr. Yao, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Hello.
Alright, hello, Mr. Yao. Welcome to the show. And can I just ask you, what do you think about the current situation in Bandaris?
Considering that there are riots going on currently, I think that is expected given the rather unexpected or shocking results today. I think it's reasonable for the public to have such an adverse reaction to such different results than what we typically expect. And although I think it may
I think we just lost Mr. Yao. Hello? Alright, it appears that we're not hearing from Mr. Yao Shi right here. So it appears that he has a problem right now. So can I just take a look at the current situation at Bandar? And the police are telling us that they will be releasing detainees once they are searched and that they are compliant to the search, and once that if no illegal tools are found within their inventories, they will be released immediately. At least that's what police officers are telling us right now. And Mr. Yao, can you hear me? Oh, it's not. We have just lost connection to the 31st Prime Minister of Malaysia, Mr. Yao Shi Isku, who were just giving us his thoughts on the reaction of the of the civilians here in Bandar. And we have another breaking news right here. We are apparently hearing from unconfirmed reports that the PAM member, Mr. Budak Kibus, has been arrested or at least detained by the police cordon here, as you can see in the video. We're still not sure, we are waiting for confirmation from the police, but as of right now, from the video, our correspondents are telling us that Mr. Budak has been detained by the police. And Mr. Yao, can you hear me, Mr. Yao?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
There we go. Yep. Alright, as you were saying?
Right. I'm not sure where I left off, but I believe that, like, given the current situation in Bandar, I think it's reasonable for the public to react in such an adverse way, given the drastic change in election results that we've seen just now.
Alright, and what about your own reaction? What is your reaction to the Hung Parliament situation that we are in right now?
Honestly, I didn't expect it. I expected something. The results I have anticipated for this election was something more similar to the past few elections that we've seen, with Party Democratic Malaysia holding a majority. But now, given the current electoral results, I think that this says a lot about the current political landscape of MYS, and yeah, I think signals a change in direction and change in time that we have right now.
Alright, and just to interrupt you here, I'm sorry, but we are hearing from our correspondents that police officers are telling them that the PDRM is currently on public order high alert, which means that police will be actively searching for suspicious individuals. As you can see right here in the video, as you can see, they are conducting searches of individuals who were presumably involved in the protests earlier, but I believe that he has subsided, and as you can see the current situation at KLBT now. Mr. Yoshi is cool. Are you still there?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, so I've seen you earlier at the polling station, and you have just returned from several months of hiatus, and I believe this being your first experience in a long time.
Yes, definitely. It's been a while since I've gone online and voted. Yes.
So what are your thoughts, being a former chairman and prime minister candidate of PDM, that PDM received this shocking of a result? What do you think about PDM?
I mean, first of all, I do not condemn the party in any way. I feel like the party has done well in this election, as a matter of fact, because if you look at the electoral results, the votes from G19, G18, and compared to now, we have received more votes. And even though it may be a lesser percentage of what the overall results for this election, I think it's quite obvious. I think you can tell that that the overall community is changing. For example, the Electoral Commission has changed who can vote. They changed the requirements for voting. I feel like that could potentially have a significant influence on the electoral results. But regardless, I congratulate the party for their results so far. I believe they've done a great job, and I hope that everything that happens today and tomorrow will play out for them well.
Alright, and do you have any comments on this being PDM's worst result in several elections now? Do you have any comments on that?
For me, it's hard to say because, I mean, it depends on how you look at the results as well. In terms of actual vote count, PDM did not lose any votes. They gained 30 more votes. In G19, PDM had, I believe, 243 votes. In this election, they have 326. That's, like, if you consider it that way, that's a substantial increase. But then again, each other party also had increases as well. And by percentage share, I guess PDM did not do as well in the election. I don't have much to comment on it, to be honest, because I feel like PDM did perform well, but unfortunately their competitors also performed well as well.
capitalizing on the increase in voters to their advantage.
All right then. And just one final question. And are you going to return to the community after this? Do you have any intentions to return?
As of right now, I do not have intentions to return in this upcoming year or the next year, as a matter of fact. But after that, I may, I might become more active in after 2 years or so. Because right now I'm focusing on my studies, and I'm gonna probably be a bit more inactive for a period of time.
All right then. It's been an honor. Thank you, Mr. Yao, and I do wish you good luck in your studies. Thank you very much.
Yep, thank you.
And that was Mr. Yao Shi-Sku, the 31st Prime Minister of Malaysia. And now we return back to Siniki Clash for further analysis. Clash?
Right, so I am once again receiving reports from Kuala Lumpur that as you can see right now that the police officers are currently assembled in Kuala Lumpur bus terminal. We are also receiving reports that there are 3 FRU squadrons patrolling around Kuala Lumpur. So right now, it's no longer Jalan Nampang being patrolled, but we are also receiving reports that Kuala Lumpur is being controlled, at least the Dangwangi district as a whole. And then we are also receiving that unit Tindakan Khas, which is the special forces of the police force, is currently also patrolling in support of to support the police officers currently in Kuala Lumpur. As of right now, situation has diffused, and police officers are currently trying to restore order as effectively as soon as possible.
And Clash?
Yeah.
I just wish to interrupt for a second, because we are hearing from a police spokesperson that they wish to clarify that the FRU officers did not use any live bullets earlier. That could have been an error on our correspondent, and I'd like to repeat this again. A police spokesperson had just told us that they have not used any live round bullets. Anyway, back to you, Clash.
Right. So we just confirmed reports there that live rounds were not being used. Although we'll need to go deeper into that news right now. But just for the people who may have joined the broadcast, because you may have heard of riots ongoing in Kuala Lumpur. Breaking news: riots are currently ongoing in Kuala Lumpur in protest of tonight's election results. But as of right now, it's quickly being diffused by the police force. As of now, please avoid Jalan Ampang. And do also be advised that the entire district of Dangwangi is currently being patrolled by the local police force. And right now we are still waiting on press statement that should be released by Istana soon, because it's currently 11:35 p.m. They're supposed to release it at 11:30 p.m. So we're still waiting on the statement right now. And since the news of protesters causing chaos in Kuala Lumpur just emerged, I wonder if Istana is going to mention any statements regarding the chaos, where they would encourage protesters to calm down and accept the election results.
Baiklah. Kita masih lagi seperti yang dikatakan oleh saudara saya Clash berkenaan dengan apa yang situasi yang sedang berlaku sekarang ini di pusat Bandaraya Kuala Lumpur. Agak kecoh juga pada ketika ini. dengan bermacam-macam situasi yang berlaku. Tapi dalam pada kita sedang menyaksikan sekarang ni, split screen yang kami boleh saksikan pada anda daripada studio dan juga di bandar pada ketika ini. Jadi sementara kita nak bercerita tentang kekecohan yang berlaku di bandar pada ketika ini, kita juga mungkin sedang menantikan apakah perbincangan, kerana setakat ini rakan saya saudara Sherman belum lagi menerima reaksi daripada rakan-rakan kita dari PDM, BRM dan PM. Tapi tidak mengapa, kita faham mungkin right now they are discussing behind our studio right now about forming a coalition and sebagainya. Tapi mungkin dalam pada kita menyaksikan Parlimen ke-20 ni tergantung, I have some question or maybe some ideas or opinion that I want to discuss with Mr. Flash regarding on since Malaysia is opening the voting session to everyone and opening the citizenship that might give them as a solid requirement to vote in PRU20. So are we gonna see a situation which is the seat in Dewan Rakyat will be increased due to the increase of the voters? What's your opinion, Flash?
Sorry, can you repeat that again?
Alright. As we see, the increase of the voters is really a big turnout in PRU20. Malaysia is open the citizenship easily as what Bernard J. Temple have argued before. Can we expect in the future the seats in Dewan Rakyat will be increased at above 30 seats, like how we see in PRU20?
At the moment, I do not think, at least for now, that an increase in seats should be necessary, because the increase of for the demographic does not immediately equate to more political participation, especially in parliament, because we know that while there are many voters, there are not much people to represent us in parliament. So while yes, there are more people now voting, but to say that we need more representation in parliament heavily depends on people who are truly interested in representing the interest of the people.
Ya, bagi yang mungkin bertanya-tanya apa yang saya ajukan kepada Clash, saya terangkan dalam bahasa Melayu, adakah kemungkinan apabila kita melihat peningkatan kadar undi, adakah Dewan Rakyat perlu ditingkatkan lagi kerusinya, jumlah kerusinya? Dan pendapat Mr. Clash, saya setuju bahawa rakyat yang mengundi pada hari ini berkemungkinan tidak diberikan pendedahan politik yang sepenuhnya untuk kita mengesahkan bahawa undian pada hari ini adalah undian yang benar-benar baik, undian yang benar-benar menunjukkan bahawa rakyat cakna, rakyat memahami situasi politik semasa. Jadi pastinya ada banyak cerita yang mungkin kita nak saksikan pada malam ini, tapi saya serahkan kepada Clash kerana kita ada menerima satu lagi update di Kuala Lumpur pada ketika ini yang mengatakan bahawa ada situasi daripada pihak berkuasa. Silakan Clash.
Right, currently in Kuala Lumpur, we are also seeing there on our live feed that PDRM are currently conducting traffic stops in Jalan Ampang, as right now Jalan Ampang is a very dangerous road, as it just experienced the riot just now. So we are also seeing there right now police officers conducting traffic stops. They're stopping vehicles and right now, as the situation in Kuala Lumpur is stable, at least for now, but police officers need to restore stability effectively and definitively. And right now, we're also and basically right now, all members of public service especially in the police force, are working overnight to ensure public order in Malaysia, because right now we did just hear that the police officers just the PDRM declared a public order high alert in Kuala Lumpur. So so at the moment we're still trying to see the development of this story, but we're here to also wait for the statement released by Istana Negara. Istana Negara is yet to release any statement regarding the election, and if I could see right now that the press statement by Istana Negara is, as it stands, unconfirmed on whether it will be released soon enough or whether it will be released tomorrow, because while we did hear that it's going to be released at 11:30 p.m. It is now well past 11:30 p.m. It's currently 11:43 p.m. and the message sent by the Istana Negara is changed from 11:30 p.m. to soon. So it's still in. We're still waiting on Istana's statement right now.
Ya, kita masih lagi menantikan kenyataan daripada Istana Negara yang menyatakan bahawa sepatutnya kalau kita mengikutkan daripada kenyataan awal tadi, mengatakan bahawa Istana Negara akan mengeluarkan kenyataan kira-kira jam 11:30 malam. Jadi kita masih lagi menantikan kenyataan rasmi daripada Istana Negara. Tapi terlebih dahulu saya nak mengucapkan terima kasih kepada anda yang masih lagi bersama dengan kami di National Wide Service Arena daripada jam 9 malam tadi sehinggalah pada ketika ini anda masih lagi bersama dengan kami untuk menyaksikan Liputan Pilihan Raya Umum ke-20 yang masih lagi belum menunjukkan barangkali parti-parti daripada PDM, BRM dan juga PAM masing-masing akan ada perbincangan mereka yang tersendiri untuk membentuk kerajaan, sekurang-kurangnya kerajaan yang baik untuk sah untuk membentuk kerajaan. Jadi kalau kita melihatkan situasi semasa mengikutkan skor yang ada ataupun jumlah kerusi yang dipegang, sekiranya BRM bergabung dengan PAM, ianya akan membentuk 17 kerusi, bermakna majoriti tipis boleh dibentuk oleh Barisan Rakyat Malaysia dan juga Perikatan Anak Malaysia. Tapi sekiranya Barisan Rakyat Malaysia dan juga Parti Demokratik Malaysia mencipta sejarah apabila sebelum ini kedua-duanya kelihatan seteru, kedua-dua pihak ini tidak pernah bersefahaman dalam pendirian mereka, barangkali mungkin akan mencipta kejutan sekiranya mereka ingin bekerjasama membentuk kerajaan ataupun kita boleh katakan sebagai unity government untuk penggal ke-20 ini. Jadi kita masih lagi menanti keputusan dan setakat ini pun situasi di Kuala Lumpur pun kelihatan tenang, kembali kepada damai dengan kawalan masih lagi dilakukan oleh dilakukan oleh polis diraja Malaysia. Dan dalam masa yang sama kita masih lagi menunggu kenyataan daripada Istana Negara, masih lagi kita menunggu dan kabarnya akan dikeluarkan pada bila-bila masa saja. Jadi kami minta untuk anda teruskan bersama dengan kami untuk kita bawakan apa-apa keputusan Istana Negara, dan ada juga wartawan kita yang akan bergerak ke dalam bandar untuk mungkin menemu ramah ataupun mungkin membuat liputan tentang apa sebenarnya kekecohan yang berlaku. Dan kita pun tidak dapat, we didn't know who started this protest, either from PDM, BRM or PAM, because we didn't see any members or any citizen that wearing the party shirt. So baiklah, kita sudah pun menerima kenyataan media daripada Istana Negara. Baiklah, kami berikan tumpuan kepada anda. Inilah dia kenyataan rasmi daripada Istana Negara. Saya bacakan kepada anda. Adalah dimaklumkan bahawa Istana Negara malam ini pada 30 Mac 2024 hari Sabtu telah menerima pemmakluman berkenaan keputusan penuh Pilihan Raya Umum ke-20 daripada pihak Suruhanjaya Pilihan Raya Malaysia dan telah dipersembahkan kepada Ke-bawah Duli Yang Maha Mulia Seri Paduka Baginda Yang di-Pertuan Agong. Keputusan diserahkan kepada Datuk Pengelola Bijaya Diraja Istana Negara tersebut menunjukkan bahawa tiada parti politik dan gabungan parti-parti politik yang telah berjaya memperoleh majoriti mudah atau simple majoriti kerusi parlimen yang diperlukan bagi membentuk sebuah kerajaan baharu. Hubungan itu, Seri Paduka Baginda Yang di-Pertuan Agong telah menitahkan supaya ketua parti-parti politik dan ketua gabungan parti-parti politik bersama-sama menghadap Seri Paduka Baginda di Istana Negara malam ini untuk berbincang dan memaklumkan kepada Baginda dan pihak Istana Negara mengenai kaedah penyelesaian isu parlimen tergantung yang telah dipersetujui antara parti-parti politik dan gabungan parti-parti politik tersebut bagi membentuk kerajaan baharu. Titah Ke-bawah Duli Yang Maha Mulia Seri Paduka Baginda di Pertuan Agong ini adalah benar-benar selaras dengan perkara 26-2-A Perlembagaan Persekutuan bagi memastikan Perdana Menteri dan kerajaan yang dibentuk benar-benar telah mendapat kepercayaan majoriti ahli-ahli parlimen. Flash, we see that Yang di-Pertuan Agong calling leaders of the parties and coalition to Istana Negara. Are we will going to Istana Negara after this? Because Agong calling them tonight.
Yeah, so so it appears that it's not even just tomorrow. The king is currently ordering all party leaders to head to Istana tonight. So basically, this situation is gonna go well beyond midnight, and because the situation is very dire, it cannot wait. And then I think the latest that we will get, I think the information will be will be out as soon as the parties have agreed to form a coalition. And currently, it is maybe most possible that BRM and PAM will form a coalition government. But right now, if we see in the letter right now, it is of our understanding that His Majesty is ordering all heads of the political parties to head to Istana Negara to discuss and inform His Majesty about the current situation, and it is possible that we will head to a coalition government. And it is to be noted that His Majesty Yang di-Pertuan Agong's decree is in line with Article 26(2)A of the Federal Constitution to ensure that the Prime Minister and the government that is formed have truly gained the trust of the majority of parliamentarians. So for now, we'll just have to wait until maybe tomorrow, because for tonight, all political leaders will head to Istana Negara.
Right. So based on the statement, for those who maybe wanna understand the statement that has been released by Istana Negara, Istana Negara already received the full result of the general election for the 20th from the election team of Malaysia, and Datuk Pengelola Bijaya Diraja Istana Negara find out that no party politik or coalition of the politik party didn't reach any simple majority of the parliamentary seats that be needed to form a new government. So and as Al told, they will have a discussion with Yang di-Pertuan Agong, but for now we will bring to my friend Sherman that will be updated in Kuala Lumpur. So Sherman, what you see in Bandaraya Kuala Lumpur right now? Silakan.
All right, thank you, Mia. And right now I'm in front of where the protest happened earlier, just about 20 minutes ago. And as you can see, police officers still surround this area right now. You can see behind me, I believe, are police officers wearing the red berets. And red beret obviously signifying that they are part of the Federal Reserve Unit, or the FRU. FRU is responsible for dispersing crowds that are deemed to be illegal under the rule of law. And as you can see, there are still many crowds behind them, though this time they are controlled crowds. And I believe we have the head of the police right here. I believe he's a spokesperson. I'm not sure if they are going to talk to us right now, but we'll just keep an eye out, as you can see. And it appears that the situation at KLPT has been cooled down. Oh, as I said that, there's just been an incident. I'm not sure what had just occurred, but I just heard a few bullets. Oh. Right there, and I believe this is the police spokesperson. Just talk to him real quick. We have two officers here with me. We are still trying to get their name. I believe using a voice chat will be alright. Then we have just been asked to move to the side. Hello? Hello? Alright, hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah. We're
No,
just
actually-
letting you have your
No, I'm telling the...
you're actually using
yeah,
voice
I'm
chat
actually
feature?
using
Oh
it.
yeah.
Yep. Alright, so who do we have here? The police officer, I suppose. Can I have your name, please? Name and position, I hope. We're still waiting for a reply here. Judging from the epaulets of the police officer just right of this here, I believe that this is an officer of some kind of a high position officer. Or there we have a card right there. Oh, good line. Hello, sir, can you hear me? Okay, then I don't believe you are getting a legitimate response here. But another incident just occurred. I'm hearing from the surroundings that there are shots again. Hello, sir, are you willing to talk to us? We are from the National Raya Service. There. Here we have the PDRM spokesperson. So, can you tell us more about the public safety incident earlier? Just tell us the police response, why were the detainees detained, and how is the police processing them right now? It appears that the police officer, the PDRM spokesperson, is unable to listen to me. So you just have to wait for an answer, because I believe he is getting the audio from the stream. Sorry, what was your question? Okay. Hello? Alright. So my question was, what was with the public safety incident earlier? How did the police respond, and what happened to the detainees, the 7 detainees as we were told earlier? So we are now getting a response from this PDR spokesperson. I'll just read out what he says. So at approximately 11 p.m. Malaysian time, the police have received reports of a large gathering outside the bus terminal. And I'm seeing a real crowd is gathering here right now. And a few shots behind. It's very apparent. We're still not very sure what those kind of shots were, and they are getting very close. It's getting pretty loud, but we're still in this location right now. Well, if you look on the left-hand side of our camera right now, you can see a scene currently going on where several police officers are combating an unknown amount of gunners. I suppose we're still not sure what they are shooting at, but we are still currently at this situation right here. And the police spokesperson just said that officers were deployed. The scene and the situation developed into a public safety order incident. Alright. Alright, we'll just say thank you to this officer here, and we'll get back to you, Clash, as this situation is unsafe and I believe we will have to evacuate at this moment, Clash.
Okay, so can you quickly just describe these scenes that you were experiencing, because you did say that you had to evacuate. So what's going on there?
I'm not sure what is happening right now, but I'm evacuating with the camera crew. Right now we are hearing a lot of shots coming in from the KLBT area, approximately where the protests were, and apparently we're still not sure what's going on, but the crowd that were just gathered at that area has been evacuated by the police. As you can see right now, officers still in the red beret, no time to change their berets, are still fighting. I believe they have just moved. I believe the situation has been diffused. I believe this area right now is unsafe, so we go back to the studio for now. Clash?
Alright. So while we were on the studio, we also received news report. We also received reports, public reports that the Dato Pengelola Bijaya Diraja is calling all party leaders, not prime minister candidates, but party leaders, for a private meeting right now. So we can confirm that right now Istana is calling all party leaders, not tomorrow, not next morning, but they're calling in all party leaders this moment right now. So the meeting is gonna be going through midnight, and maybe we should probably send a team to Istana as well. But right now we'll have to focus on the current situation in Bandar, and we also need to currently focus on the updates that will be ongoing in by Pasukan Pilihan Raya.
Do you think, Clash, that the Istana Negara and also all party leaders will be concluded the decision by tonight? Maybe past midnight or something, if we want, if they want this issue or this political instability. Can we call that is a political instability due to the parliament?
It wouldn't be unusual to call this political instability, because after all, this is a very, very dire situation, and because of such quick social change, we are now seeing instability in Bandar right now.
Yes.
We're and to call it a political instability wouldn't be so unusual, but maybe let's imply that once we get to a point of uncertainty whether a government can actually be formed, because right now there is a possibility that we may the parties can actually form a coalition government. So the hope is in a matter of few hours the answer on who is going to be government will be resolved as soon as maybe as late as this morning.
Yeah, maybe we will receive. And also sekarang ini kalau anda dapat lihat di skrin anda, ada tembak menembak sedang berlaku di sekitar Kuala Lumpur pada ketika ini. Inilah dia situasi yang kami bawakan secara langsung dari Kuala Lumpur pada ketika ini. Dan kita barangkali mungkin menantikan keputusan juga. Dan dalam pada itu juga Clash, we also receiving confirmation from Istana Negara, which is the discussion is underway, and maybe a response is in an hour. So Clash, do you want to wait another hour? Probably confirming the decision of the government right now.
Well, I guess if we're talking about extending the live stream, we'll have to contact backstage on whether we should probably do it, because for your circumstance it's gonna be like it's gonna be 1 a.m. but for me it's gonna be 12 a.m. and actually I haven't ate dinner, so basically maybe I should risk dinner for probably another hour of uncertainty, but for now let's maybe I'll probably ask it to the team in the studio. But for now, the situation in Bandar. But for now, let's head over to the situation in Bandar. The situation in Bandar is currently a deaf event. So right now, the situation in Bandar is completely irrelevant to the current political situation. But right now, just you said earlier, the discussions are underway in Istana, and there is a possibility, because Istana is not confirming immediately. There is a possibility, but there's also the probability of the response not being in an hour. So right now, whether we should extend the live stream up to an hour is a question that should be brought to the team, to the broadcasting team.
Yalah, mungkin pendapat saya mungkin memandangkan kita perlu menunggu lagi sejam. Saya kira mungkin kita just updated in our social media, because I think the situation in the bandar sekarang ni dalam keadaan yang baik, in a good condition, in good situation, without involving any disagreement on the decision of the result of the general election. So saya kira mungkin kita boleh menamatkan secara langsung kita pada malam ini. Jadi mungkin Sherman, mungkin ada apa-apa you might wanna add before we leaving Kuala Lumpur tonight, because I think there is nothing we would like to talk a lot in situation of Kuala Lumpur, since nothing relevant with the general election.
Well, I believe the current situation is, like Clash said, a bit irrelevant to what has been going on to the political situation. And just to clarify to our dear audience, this is a developer event. It's not related to the Hung Parliament situation, but I believe it's just for fun. I don't know how it's fun, but it's apparently for fun by the administrative team, and I just thank you. And I'm not sure as to what is the response being put in by the police yet, because I've lost contact with the police spokesperson. But yeah, we are also very excited to to hear from the Istana what the results will be, and hopefully we'll get it by tomorrow morning. And if not, then that will be a big problem, as art imitates real life, don't you think, Mia?
Yes. Ayolah, so thank you Sherman, and also Weird from the Bungaraya Insight for update the situation in Kuala Lumpur. So saya rasa hashtag MYS Memilih bakal berakhir sampai di sini sahaja. Saya nak ucapkan terima kasih kepada pertama sekali kepada rakan-rakan tetamu jemputan kita, our special guest from every political party and also coalition, for having time with us for tonight. Thank you so much. And also thank you for all our media that collaborate in conjunction with general election under MYS Memilih. Thank you so much to the weekly edition and also the Bungaraya Insight and 58 Hotspot for every update, setiap kemas kini yang kami bawakan kepada anda daripada awal Pilihan Raya sampailah ke hari ini. Dan hari ini kita juga menyaksikan keputusan Parlimen ke-20 tergantung dan Istana Negara sedang memanggil ke semua ketua parti, dan kita akan mengemas kini dari semasa ke semasa. Tapi setakat ini untuk menantikan sehingga jam 1 pagi ataupun pada bila-bila masa kita akan menantikan saja. Kami akan umumkan kepada anda pada bila-bila masa. Teruskan untuk mengikuti semua media sosial kami di National Wire Service, the weekly edition, the Bungaraya Insight dan juga 58 Hotspot, 50 Hotspot untuk update terkini berkenaan dengan situasi pasca PRU ke-20 post 20 general election, which we will see the parliament is in hang parliament situation. Sebelum kita menamatkan secara langsung kita pada malam ini, kita akan menyaksikan kembali kerusi ataupun kerusi yang dimenangi oleh kesemua parti. Tapi sebelum tu saya saya mendapat ada satu kenyataan yang dikeluarkan oleh polis pada ketika ini. I give back to the Sherman. Apa yang polis katakan?
Hello? Alright, I'm currently in a safer location, so I can bring you the latest from the police spokesperson. Now I'm just going to read it out right now. It says that at approximately 22:59 hours, the police received multiple 999 calls on a gathering along Jalan Ambang. Officers were deployed, and it was established that congregation was related to the recent GE20 result. The FRU was activated, as you can see there are still shots beside me. The FRU was activated as a crowd swelled to at least 15 people, and the incident was declared as an unlawful assembly under Section 58 of the Penal Code at 23:15 hours, which was about 11:15 p.m., about 1 hour ago. The protesters used petrol bombs and fireworks against officers. Police takes a stern view against those who choose to disrupt peace and order of the country. And the police is also saying that they managed to disperse the protests at around 23:40, which took about 30 minutes of dispersing work, and detained 7 individuals. And the police wish to clarify that no live rounds were used to disperse the protest, and advise the public to currently avoid using Jalan Ampang area until further notice. Just to the public, the Jalan Ampang area is just behind me earlier if you saw it, but right now we thank you for watching the National Wire Service in collaboration with other media for the 20th general elections coverage, and we will see you next time. Thank you.
Alright, I hope Sherman is gonna be alright in Kuala Lumpur right now. But Clash, I think we have some breaking news you might wanna announce before we end our stream from Parliament News. Silakan Sherman, Clash. Alright, it's okay. Saya rasa itu saja daripada kami di National Wire Service. Tetapi mungkin sebelum kita tamatkan secara langsung ini, kita ada daripada Parlimen mengatakan bahawa kesemua pemimpin parti dari Pilihan Raya, dalam Pilihan Raya Umum ke-20 diminta untuk menghantar senarai ahli parlimen yang terkini kepada Dewan Rakyat selewat-lewatnya pada hari Rabu 3 hari bulan April 2024. Party leaders of GE20 are expected to DM the parliament, their finalized MP list at least by Wednesday this week. Jadi itulah antara berita yang terakhir yang kami akan menutup tirai MYS Memilih. Sekali lagi terima kasih kepada anda semua yang sudi menyaksikan MYS Memilih daripada jam 9 sehinggalah jam 12 malam ini. Terima kasih banyak-banyak atas kesetiaan anda untuk bersama dengan kami. Saya kira cukuplah sampai di sini. Kita akan menantikan apakah ceritanya pada esok pagi. Apapun, terima kasih kepada anda semua. Thank you so much for Malaysian for voting in 20th general election for all day yesterday, pada 30 hari bulan. Today is already 31st of the March, last day for the March, dan kita menyaksikan parlimen tergantung buat kali ini. Tapi sebelum saya menutup secara langsung pada ini, kita akan melihat semula inilah dia jumlah kerusi yang dimenangi dengan 16 kerusi yang diperlukan untuk membentuk kerajaan, simple majority. Jadi pastinya kita akan melihat apakah perbincangan di Istana Negara pada ketika ini, yang pastinya satu kedudukan yang menarik, satu cerita yang menarik, satu lembaran sejarah yang masih lagi terakam pada masa kini. Pada tahun 2024, penggal ke-20 menyaksikan parlimen tergantung dan tiada mana-mana parti ataupun pakatan memiliki majoriti secara mudah. Jadi itu saja yang dapat kami bawakan pada ketika ini. Terima kasih banyak kepada anda semua kerana bersama dengan saya, dan terima kasih juga kepada media-media yang bertungkus lumus memberikan kemas kini terkini daripada awal sehinggalah ke akhir. Terima kasih banyak-banyak saya ucapkan. Kami minta mengundur diri. Kita harapkan agar Malaysia baharu akan bersinar pada esok hari. Itu saja daripada kami. Assalamualaikum, selamat malam. Salam MYS Memilih. Terima kasih. Kita jumpa lagi pada secara langsung yang akan datang.
Good evening.